Today, we will look into the falling in love process through the lens of biology. Our brain chemistry for attachment evolved out of necessity to continue humankind. From an evolutionary perspective, humans are instinctually programmed to fall in love to form a romantic bond for the purpose of raising children throughout infancy. Helen Fisher and other researchers MRI scanned people's brains to see what parts lit up while in love. I will outline their findings on the chemical process that takes place when one is falling in love, because it is important for you to know that the falling in love emotions are as addictive as cocaine. First, dopamine, dubbed as the pleasure hormone, will spike. The VTA part of the brain is the source of 90% of dopamine and associated with euphoria and addiction. Dopamine gets the reward system going, thus contributing to wakefulness, acute attention, increase in libido, motivation, reward-seeking, creativity, and novelty, which is why a high rush of dopamine causes people to write poetry and music. Dopamine also creates a feeling of unity with a beloved and increases energy, often causing one to toss and turn at night. The flood of dopamine in the reward pathways causes the prefrontal region of the brain, the most important region for intention, decision-making, morality, respect, and logical deduction, to deactivate or reduce activity. The hypothalamus of the brain regulates hunger, thirst, and body temperature. It reflects our emotions, such as in the in love feelings, onto our bodies in the form of a rise in the pulse rate and sweating, increase in swallowing, eating less, trembling, and increase in stomach acidity. In the MRI scans, the dorsal insula, the brain region for seeing beautiful faces and visual integration, showed greater activity in men than women. This is why men tend to be more visual than women in terms of choosing a partner. The 𝐃𝐨𝐧'𝐭 region for attention, memory, and emotion showed greater activity in women than men. Serotonin, the chemical contributor to happiness, underlines the beginning stage of love, extending as far as 18 months. Serotonin is lowered when one is in love, reaching a common level to those with obsessive-compulsive disorder. Serotonin diverts thoughts to the lover, to the point where one is obsessively thinking of their loved one 85% of waking time. It is possible to be in love after 10 to 30 years of marriage, but it just won't be in the crazy in love stage, since the anxiety due to low serotonin levels goes back to normal and dopamine levels go down. Oxytocin is the love or cuddle hormone that is released during sex and heightened by skin-to-skin contact. Women release a lot more oxytocin during sex than men. Men release more dopamine. Eventually, passionate love is replaced with attachment that is highlighted by oxytocin. Oxytocin deepens feelings of attachment by promoting relaxation and sleep, improving communication, increasing levels of empathy, increasing trust, and decreasing social fear and anxiety. Oxytocin has been compared to the feeling one gets from the drug ecstasy. Vasopressin. Women and men can have equal amounts of vasopressin, but males' testosterone synergizes with vasopressin, thus enhancing each other. is a hormone that produces long-term monogamous relationships. It causes spousal aggression, territorial defense, protection of children, and relationship maintenance. There are changes in the sex hormone testosterone in women and men during the early stage of love for evolutionary reasons. Testosterone levels fall in men, thus softening their masculine characteristics and reducing extroversion. The evolutionary reason behind this is that it makes men concentrate on one person and less potential partners are drawn to him. Testosterone levels, on the other hand, rise in women. From a biological standpoint, a woman could become vulnerable from pregnancy, and so taking a chance on love is more risky for a woman than for a man. The purpose behind a woman's rise of testosterone is for her to take on greater risks, since the risk of love is very high. The obsessive in love stage, with fluctuating heightened emotions, can last at most 2 years, and then it starts to shift to the companionate love stage. In the companionate love stage, dopamine levels start to level out, and vasopressin, the bonding hormone, strengthens. Therefore, romantic love eventually shifts to attachment.